Job search is a crash course in rejections and frustration. And look, every rejection is difficult, but the most difficult rejection is the rejection you receive after interviewing with the company, especially if you've progressed to the advanced stages of interview, you've gone to the final round, or even to your hiring manager interview. So today I want to talk about how do you deal with interview rejection and how do you bounce back from that? It's very important because I see people going through job search in a very cyclical manner, and that's common. I mean, it's common in all fields which have some sort of rejection. But the most successful job seekers are the ones who don't dip too much and are able to bounce back as soon as possible. So I'm going to share with you 6 strategies. These are not steps to be implemented one after the other. You can pick and choose what works for you and what doesn't. But a very, very, very important thing to keep in mind when you are embarking on job search. Hi, my name is Shuk Pojdar. I'm a Singapore-based job search strategist and career coach and a former corporate recruiter. I am also a LinkedIn top voice, and I release 2 videos on YouTube every week. So if you haven't already, please do subscribe to this channel. On Tuesdays, I release less than 2 minutes action-packed tips, and on Thursdays, we do a deep dive on one of the topics related to job search, success, and career growth. So let's look at all the ways you can deal with a job interview rejection and how do you bounce back? Well, the first thing is very important, and that would possibly be the only thing I would recommend everybody to do it. And that is feel the feelings. Don't mute yourself. Look, rejection is always hard. Now, even the automated rejections you get when you're applying for a role are hard. We try to minimize them because you receive so many of them. And if you feel heartbroken after each of them, it's not going to be worthwhile. But job interview rejection hits especially hard, especially when you have spoken to the hiring manager and proceeded to the advanced stages. So it's okay to feel upset, to feel frustrated, to even feel like you want to give up, but have a deadline. I would actually recommend decide beforehand how much time would you give if you do not get to the next round. You don't want to speak weeks spiraling deeper and deeper because you were rejected from a role. It's not going to help you in any way. It may have adverse effects to your mental health. So feel the feelings, but do tell yourself, okay, for 1 or 2 days, I'm going to just feel horrible. I'm going to listen to all the sad songs, watch movies which make me feel the feelings, have communications, go for long, pensive walks, but I need to make sure I understand that this did chip away a bit on my confidence. Once you've let yourself feel that feeling, now it's time to sprint back and bounce back. And here are the things you may want to consider to bounce back. Number 1, reframe your perspective. See, it's all here. A lot of it is actually. So what I like to say is if you haven't gotten through this particular role, there are reasons for it. If they are rejecting you for some biases because you are of a particular nationality, cultural background, age group, etc., you've just dodged a bullet. The whole point is not to just get any role, but to get a role in which you are accepted, in which you can thrive. So well done, you've just dodged a bullet. So good. If you've been rejected because you are not suitable for the role, then look, again, if the role demands a lot more than what you can offer, you don't want to feel that you're not able to do that. Now, in my experience, a lot of time, it's not because people don't have the skills. It's because people do not have the confidence that they can do the particular role, and that's why they end up being rejected. So if that's the case, you want to just ask yourself the question, were you really confident about your ability to do that role, or were you self-doubting yourself somewhere at the back? And that may be the reason for that rejection as well. Anyway, it is learning. So move on from that. Another important thing to keep in mind is have more options. Sounds like so much common sense, but I see it time and again with my clients, sometimes repeatedly with the same client as well, where they start progressing to second, third, advanced stages of interview and they believe the offer is theirs and they completely give up on their job search. Now, it takes a while to build momentum of your job search. If you've reached a stage where you are getting a few interviews, ride that momentum and start applying, continue having those networking conversations. This is the time when you have a high confidence level. When you go and meet up with people, you would not be in a situation where you desperately need a role. You would just be considering another option. And that's another level of confidence with which you will talk to people, and it will have a very positive impact on the people. So please do not put all your eggs in the same basket, even if you feel there's a very high chance that you will get this particular offer, unless you have signed and sealed the deal and got your visa approved. If you need that, you need to continue looking for roles. I have seen so many people whose offers fall off, even at the stage of visa rejection, and they're left in a lurch and have to start the job search process all over. It will also take the sting out of that rejection to a great degree. Moving on, reply to the rejection email. I know that's the last thing probably you want to do with the company. There's a lot of frustration, but firstly, that rejection email reply stands you out from everybody else. And look, the market is small. You don't know when you meet up with this particular recruiter or hiring manager, whoever you're primarily interacting with in a later role. So always send a reply to the rejection email. In fact, sometimes when people have a great conversation with the hiring manager, apart from the recruiter, even if the hiring manager is not in their emails, I would always recommend that they send a quick note to this person. Now, what should your reply be? Appreciate their time, all that they've done to coordinate this whole process, reiterate how much you enjoyed it, how much you liked the company, and if an opportunity arises in the future, you would love to be considered for it. I can't tell you how many times things go awry with their selected candidate. The candidate may not join, may receive a counter offer, may receive another offer, may not perform really well during probation, or something comes up during probation that the person has to leave. Guess who they go to? The other person who was in the interview process. That's the easiest part. They don't have to restart the recruitment process from scratch. So please, if you've gone to advanced stages, send them that email. Even as a recruiter, when I was working with clients, there would be so many cases where a candidate would not get a role in the first process, but they would be asked to join the company at a later stage, 2-3 months down the line. So you never know. The next strategy is to track your rejections. I'm sure you're tracking a lot of your job search activity, but tracking rejections is important because it tells you where you're missing the mark. So if you're getting through a lot of phone screenings, but it doesn't progress to further stages, there's something happening at the phone screen rounds which does not allow you to move further. So it could either be you are not sure how to take the salary conversation, you don't know how to communicate your value, you haven't done any sort of research for the kind of roles you're applying for, or you don't have the right skills for the role. So phone screening typically are much more straightforward, but if you are time and again being rejected after the phone screen, then take stock. You may be applying to the wrong companies or the wrong roles. If you are getting rejected after the hiring manager interview, it means you don't know how to speak to the functional person. If you're getting rejected in advanced stages, look, a lot of things happen there. It could be that they had an internal candidate, they just wanted to do an external benchmark. You were suitable for the role, but somebody else was more suitable, or plain old chemistry may come in the way. So in those cases, I would look at how you're presenting yourself in an interview, at least for the chemistry part, because building connection with the interviewer is always in your hand. And the last strategy I have may sound a bit unusual, but when I work with job seekers and I see they take rejection very much into heart, I ask them to come up with a list of things which give them joy. list of things which make them come alive, which make sure that their job search is sustainable. So it could be that you love exercising. It could be that you like to travel every few weeks. It could be that you like to dance, whatever it is. Have some activities which bring enough joy to keep you from getting burnt out. Look, I hardly ever recommend, no matter the circumstance, that you spend all day, every day job searching. You need to dedicate a couple of hours every day to your job search. Maybe have some coffees during the week. The rest of the time, you should be focusing on your job if you have one. And if not, then you should be focusing on other activities, things which you would love to do. So prepare a list of things you would like to do when you retire and start doing them during this period. And in a lot of countries, I know, especially in Singapore, there are always a free or a cheaper version available. So you don't have to wait to earn money to do a lot of these activities as well. So have a list of activities you can engage in. It could be just blasting good, uplifting music. It could be painting, drawing, expressing yourself creatively, whatever have you. Go ahead and do those things and have that list ready, because when you are spiraling down, it takes one or two of those activities to build that confidence, to build that happiness back. Your mental state is very important to the success of your job search. If you are job searching where you feel distraught and you just don't have it in you, it's not going to give you a lot of results. So make sure you keep your mental health in the top shape. So I hope these strategies give you some idea on how you can bounce back after job interview rejection. If you have any other strategies, please do type them in the comments. It will help the community. And if you have any other questions about job search and career growth, please do leave those for me. I would love to address them in some of the upcoming videos. Till next week, take care and go make an impact.